Hello, and welcome to the Lost and Faded podcast, where we get faded and lost into whatever movie I'm film for the week. This week, Red One, with me, Byron, and Ash and Alex.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us back.
Yeah, of course. We saw Red One. It was a movie.
It was a movie.
Yeah.
Went in with low expectations, left amazed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I had a good time.
I think I had a fun time. Again, I was similar idea. I had rock bottom expectations, but it can only go up from there.
Yeah, honestly, let's see. It starred Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, J.K. Simmons, Chris Evans, Lucy Liu, Nick Kroll. Had a pretty good cast. Let's just jump straight into the plot for like the non-spoiler part. Then we'll get into spoilers later.
Sounds good to me.
So there's this little bad kid that opens up one. Literally the worst kid ever.
He just pickpockets his uncle out of nowhere. Like,
He's very devious.
yeah,
From the beginning, you can tell he's going to be an important.
Yeah. Like, I mean, he's already pickpocketing at like 8 or 7 or whatever.
see, he pickpockets to steal some keys to kind of like show Christmas present, cabinet,
Yeah.
then prove to other kids that it's not Santa's not
real.
real.
It's all a plot made by the adults.
Yeah, but like he ends up winning a bet, but the only thing he won was like 3 lollipops, and that was all he got.
He's only 8, so for him, that's gold.
Yeah, I guess.
He's getting what he wants. But then he gets caught by his uncle or whatever, and he's like, "What are you doing? That's not the only gifts we get. Santa brings gifts." And he's like, "Yeah, right." He's like, "Whatever, old man." And then so it fast forwards to 30 years later, and this asshole is just worse. He stole a cup of coffee, stole newspapers.
Started from the bottom and never left the bottom.
Yeah, he
Honestly.
starts a fire in a gazebo.
And he hacks into this geology research station.
He also causes a security guard to trip, and he falls hard.
He's just very good at what he does, even though if it's not right.
He's like Hitman, the character for the game.
But he doesn't kill anyone.
Well, he gets close.
I wouldn't say that, Anna.
I would say I wouldn't. I could
Like
see him killing.
He doesn't like to leave loose ends.
Yeah.
Why would
And that's a point of his.
Yeah. But so he steals this information, and then we cut to Santa at a mall,
Yeah, he's just at the mall. He knows the kids.
and he's doing his little routine. This YouTuber guy tries to come up and like start doing some YouTube shit with
He's an
Santa.
influencer, man. He's got to do what the followers want.
Yeah,
And then he just gets kicked out because of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's character.
yeah. He shows up and
He's a good bodyguard.
Yeah, his name's Cal.
Cal, yes.
he manages to do something that no one else can do and stop an influencer from just.
He's also very well at
Yeah.
sniffing out ingredients to make sure they don't poison Santa.
Yeah.
That's only really in the beginning of the movie. Does that ever come back again?
No, it doesn't. Is he like his watchdog, making sure?
Oh yeah, he's like make sure he's not poisoned.
Any food in the beginning that was given to Santa, The Rock would just sniff.
Those cookies, there were cookies given to him, and he had to smell them.
A hot
And there was a
dog.
hot dog. Yep.
The guy with the hot dog stand too. Like, so Santa's walking through the mall. He shouts, his name, and this hot dog guy just throws as hard as he can a hot dog at him. Santa doesn't
Should have
even
been a baseball
react.
player, not a hot dog salesman, with an arm like that.
I don't know what they were on at that mall.
What's weird is he is portraying to be just an average everyday mall Santa,
Yeah.
but in reality, he is the man.
Yeah, maybe they know. Maybe the workers know that's the real Santa.
They want to keep the hope alive.
Yeah, something like that. And so they travel back to the North Pole, and when they travel, he has this huge sled, and it has the giant reindeer on it, which
Those reindeer were massive.
Yeah, they're huge.
I don't think I remember reindeer.
I mean, moose I know can be get pretty big, but reindeer, I'm not sure. I've personally never seen one.
I don't think they
No, they were approximately 2 humans tall. I don't know.
Let's take a good look.
But so these reindeer also have abilities too. They can like travel in
They're
hyperspeed.
not that big, 3 to 5 feet.
Huh.
So they obviously portrayed these as
Magic reindeer.
they're freaks of.
No Rudolph appearance.
No, Rudolph, you're right. I forgot about
This is canonically before the Rudolph song.
this. Is blasphemy.
And then so using the hyperspeed with the reindeer, he also gets assisted by like the army or someone with jets.
General.
Yeah.
He got escorted. What made me laugh was when he did that seismic, leaving. It reminded me of your like, what do they call it, gravitational jump, or what is it called in Star Wars? Light speed.
Yeah, light speed.
I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it did look cool. And then they go to the dome, which it's like the Wakanda
Yeah, right.
dome
Yeah.
from Black Panther, where it's just an invisible dome. And they go in there, which also Cal and Santa, they basically have Ant-Man powers.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, but their ability to shrink and grow.
Yeah, they can shrink and grow, and then they could shrink items and grow them.
So they have a gauntlet that gives them that ability.
Yeah.
Without the gauntlet, he's technically nothing.
I mean,
He still like can live to probably a few hundred years.
Yeah.
They just casually drop
But the
that.
gauntlet gives him a power. Like it makes his abilities even more.
I mean, he's not human though, so I don't know.
But what is he? That's the thing.
know.
They're saying he's an
He's
elf.
not-
He's the
not
elf.
an elf. He gets mad about
Now, what
that.
throws me off is those creatures in the North Pole. Are they elves?
So their unit is called ELF, but I don't think that any of them are actually elves.
What are the gremlin-looking
Yeah, the
creatures?
gremlin-looking things. Yeah.
Maybe those are elves. I don't
Are those
know.
ogres? Like what are
They
they?
didn't explain any of that.
No, they like have 2 speaking roles, and it's some.
What's weird is they have their own language, and then there's a portion of it where they are actually speaking English. Did they learn English, or are they're talking just their whatever they are language?
They should have
explained, yeah.
But it's fine. So yeah, they get back to the North Pole. It's this huge operation. Also, the North Pole looks like Asgard. It's a huge like castle tower thing, and then this really like huge nice city around it. I'm just like, all right, what are we going for with this vibe?
I wonder if they copied off of a lot of Marvel.
It seems like it.
But CGI has gone so far these days. You can really do anything you put your mind to it.
Yeah, I really though. Yeah, I don't know what their pitch was for this movie, but it's
Like I said, I went in there with absolutely no hope, and I left. Actually, I enjoyed the movie. I would definitely. I may buy the movie.
you buy it?
I may buy it.
Okay. All right. So once they're at the North Pole, Santa's trying to get ready for the night. They're showing off how strong he is while he's showing how he's working.
This is
out.
where I question the whole philosophy. They always told us that Santa's fat and jolly, but it just doesn't seem to be here.
No.
This guy is lifting weights.
Yeah, he's
When
strong.
was the last Santa movie that had actual like fat Santa?
Oh, that's a good movie. I remember the Tim Allen one. That one was a good one. But you're right. When is the last time they had a...
It's been a while. And so he's in there working out, and The Rock's character comes in, and he's like, he hands him a letter, and the Santa doesn't even look at the letter. He's just
He knows.
disappointed. He's
He
like,
knows all. He sees all. He knows when
But he
you're
also like
sleeping.
Mrs. Claus sees it too, and then also like just keeps rubbing his face.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
I feel like she should have hugged him. That would have been more sentimental rather than doing what she did.
Yeah,
Just like a
touching
weird-
his face.
Yeah.
I don't know, that was weird. And he was like,
What if she slapped him?
I don't know what to say.
How
man.
dare you?
You're not leaving here.
He's a good guy. He deserves it.
How long did you say he was working in? Like 300 plus years?
Yeah,
Yeah,
something like that. It's been a while for him. And so Santa's like, why don't you want to work with me anymore? And Cal's like, the adults are ruining it.
He's lost the touch.
Yeah, I guess. I was like, of course, it's the adults, because he saw those adults wilding at the mall. There was some ladies fighting over nothing.
Somebody mentioned that she's going to crack someone's skull because they ran out of essential oils. And I'm like, wow, perfect aesthetic of what Christmas known to be.
There was a guy who was maybe possibly shoplifting. They never confirmed. Just The Rock calls a bunch of security on him.
Yeah, so he's tired of the adults. He's like, I'm done. I've done this enough. You should get someone younger. And Nick's like, all right, that's fine. And he's like, one last ride. And they're like, one last ride.
You know what made me laugh? When they should have done that thing where they did their hand. You know that?
Oh, yeah,
They did that, didn't they?
they might have.
If I recall, it feels like they did that.
Yeah, and then so after this, it goes back to Chris Evans' character, the kid that grew up. I forgot what his name was.
They called him the Wolf.
He was called the
We'll call him the Wolf.
Wolf.
So the Wolf.
Joe Malley. Something along those lines.
Yeah, I'm just gonna call him the Wolf.
Yeah.
But so he used when he hacked into the geology place, he got like seismic program that showed the seismic activity of the world, and he sees Santa going to the North Pole, and he like gives the information to some random guy,
Gets paid to do what he does.
and so then some people come in, they break the. This was a media, by the way.
Oh yeah.
There was like they were immediately ready to just break in.
But was this before they didn't pick up his kid or something from school?
Oh,
And then
yes.
so he break in?
No, this was no.
No, that's later.
That's later.
Okay,
Yeah.
never mind.
So they break into the place, and it's like no one notices the field's broken first off, which is wild.
What's crazy is if this were Wakanda, they would have been caught immediately.
Yeah.
But apparently, they don't have this sort of technology, even though they are this advanced.
I don't know. They have a whole huge tower and they have a whole team, and they still
They have like
fucked up.
The
walls
security.
that come out of the ground. You know.
And so it cuts the Rock's Cal just walking around, and he looks at the tower and some lights are out, and he's like, hey, what's going on in this sector? Why are the lights going on? And someone's like, I'll go check it. And then more lights are going out, and then people keep disappearing, and he's like,
That's when he says, "Where is the red one?"
that's the movie. That's the name of the movie.
Yep. I was like, "Oh, there it is."
And then so he's running around looking for Nick. And first of all, the fact that no one ran into his room where the glass was broke.
See, but like I don't know, you have to have like super special clearance because
Maybe.
they show The Rock having to scan his power bracelet thing.
True. That's still wild though. But he got, I guess, kidnapped in his room, and they scaled down the building. And The Rock's like, you know what? I'm gonna jump off this building onto a house. He's not human, so I don't know.
That parkour was something else.
Yeah, this entire movie, honestly. But then
Don't try it at home.
he's chasing after them, and he's like calling for like where they are, and the city is like has like different like walls going up, and they have like little tunnels under it. There's a lot going on with this.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, but they don't have they have all of this, but they don't have some kind of,
Yeah, something blocking the actual road.
yeah.
Nothing stopping it or anything.
What impresses me is the force field was able to be cut with a plasma cutter. So, don't go to the North Pole. You're gonna get kidnapped.
And so also during some scenes in this scene where he's like running after this, the CGI is kind of bad. It's a little rough.
Yeah.
Maybe I was too into the movie. I didn't see it.
It was rough in some scenes where I was just like,
The only
when he was standing in the street, I was like, he's not in that street right now. But So he's chasing them out of the dome, and he like pulls out a snowmobile and grows it, and he's like chasing them, and they get, I think like an avalanche happens.
Yeah, yeah.
Causes the avalanche. He goes, he scales up the mountain, and he's cutting off portions of the bottom of the snow to start an avalanche.
Dude, he's on one.
He knows. That's why he's his best personnel, and yet he wants to retire.
Yeah, honestly, he seems ready for it even now. But so he goes and opens what it was like. What was it, like a huge snowmobile or something?
Yeah, it was like a
Yeah.
I don't even know how to, a militarized snowmobile, some sort of a. Honestly, I feel like it's something you would see in like a movie, someone against like a Russian.
Yeah, like a G.I. Joe.
Yeah, you're right. Yes, G.I. Joe movie.
He looks inside and it's empty, and then he sees some like a helicopter flying over, and I was like, "There's no way they got out of that thing to that helicopter by that time."
No, because where did they go? There's only one hole in the outside of the building. So
So
was it just sitting off to the side outside as well?
That's where the suspense kind of grows. You just don't know.
yeah, and spoilers, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, we'll let you know.
So Nick's gone, and now he's freaking out. Cal's freaking out. He gets on the phone with the director of Mora, which is like a
Mythical organization. I don't.
know, it's something like that with the mythic creatures, all this fantasy shit.
This whole time he thought it wasn't real, but they exist.
Yeah.
That organization keeps them safe.
Yeah, so she's like, what happened to him? And they're like, he's gone, he's kidnapped. And so she's like, we just have to go to the person who got the information about where we are and find out who hired to kidnap him.
Is this when we found about we see the trolls? Yeah,
Oh yeah, they bring up these trolls,
The nerds,
yeah.
these ugly ass creatures.
but they're very smart.
Yeah, they find out that the wolf is the one who sold the information. But yeah, they're ugly. I don't know about those.
That's how they have to portray them, as nerds yet disgusting.
And so it cuts to the next one. I think it's the next.
It's in the apartment with the wolf waking up in a bathtub.
Yeah, he's hung over, and he's like, "All right." He gets a call from his ex-girlfriend about his son, and his son got in trouble at school, and she needs him to pick him up. And so he goes and picks him up, and they have a weird conversation. He gives him like some horrible advice.
Yeah, because his son hacked into the school computers, marked himself as unattended, and did the same thing for his friend. And then he got caught because the friend ratted him out.
Not much of a friend.
Yeah. And that's where he did the loose ends talk, where he was like, no loose ends.
Yeah, trust nobody, have no loose ends.
He says that and drops his son off, and the son's like, yeah, and I have this stupid concert, but don't worry about it. And he gets out, and he's like, okay, I won't.
Hey, he told him not to worry about it.
Yeah, but literally, I wouldn't either. And so he's like, he drives back to his place, and he's like walking down the street, and these people are like following him, and he's like going up into his house, and he sees like someone's inside his house, and they're all like coming close to him, and then he gets into this huge fight, and these guys have these like stun guns that like freezes the people in place and knocks them out.
And these are some advanced tasers.
Yeah, it's so weird. That scene was so weird.
It was very odd. It was a very, very big, out of nowhere start almost.
Yeah.
What's crazy to me is he seems like just some guy, but no, he's able to weasel his way out of this.
Yeah.
Freezes everyone, counters everybody using their tasers, and just walks away.
Yeah, he gets away, and then he like goes into this like random like tunnel area, and the director's right there, and she freezes him.
See, but why didn't he grab any of the stun guns?
That's what I was thinking, because a lot of them were tossed out. Maybe he was just scared. Maybe he didn't know.
He just was trying to get away. And so now she's questioning him about who hired him, and he's like, I didn't even know who was taken. And that's when she brings him to her like Yeah, here like it's a warehouse area where the Mora is being run, and he sees the headless horseman.
So this is before T starts laughing. He's like, "Who are you talking about?" And it's like Saint Nicholas, the red one. And that's when he starts laughing. Are you talking about Santa Claus? And then, as you mentioned, he sees the headless horseman, and that's when he starts to see maybe this whole time it was true.
Yeah, and so now he's sitting there like about to get interrogated. And she brings out Cal, and Cal's freaking out. He's like, "Where is he?"
You know what happened? What happened? Where is he?
And then so Cal calls Garcia, who's this huge polar bear, and he's just like hugging him and like,
Ready to dismember him, even though the director specified that, yes, I would agree, which is insane, but that's just how they do it in Mora.
and then so they decide that they have to work together to try and find Saint Nicholas. And then so now we'll get into spoiler talk. So right off the bat, how we feel about the villain?
So I've only ever heard of Grilla
Yeah.
from Dungeons and Dragons and a few other places, but never did I understand per se what a gorilla is. All I know is it's the big witch that's in the forest.
I never heard of
I never heard of a grill either.
That's the only place I've heard of her. It's
I'm glad that you know about her.
That's the only place I know her, and the only reason I know is because I follow these people that play Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. Do you feel like it's a weird villain?
So yeah, for context there, the villain is a snow witch called a Grilla.
Yeah.
What threw me off is when you first get that portion, when you see who she is, you're like, this is just a little girl. Immediately I think, oh, this is just a disgruntled little girl that's on the naughty list and is going to teach Saint Nick a lesson. Way off I was.
Yeah, honestly, I wasn't even expecting that. I wish they did someone more notable.
Yeah.
Krampus would have been a notable villain, which is understandable.
Maybe
What I didn't know is that they're brothers.
Is that just, I don't know, is that just
is that
in
the
universe lore? I don't,
We gotta look up our Christmas lore.
yeah, so yeah, in the movie, the Santa and the Krampus are related.
Who is an enemy of Santa? That is a very good question.
I don't know. I mean, they could have brought on anyone. Like they brought out Jack Frost for Santa Claus 3.
That would have been a notable villain.
But I thought she was decent.
You know who they were missing? Whatever happened to the snowman with the hat? Isn't he also part of these movies?
Frosty.
Frosty the Snowman. Well, technically, we do get a version of him.
Yeah, there's a fight with Snowman. That was a pretty fun fight. That whole Nick Kroll fight and whole scene with him is really funny. I really like the fact that they brought him into this movie.
When I saw him, I'm like, hey, I know who that guy is. And when you get to that portion of the movie where he gets possessed, it really brings out his true colors.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're going to
It was going
Aruba.
really into character.
The fucking Mora and the elf and all their technology is wild. Like going the elves have this way of like traveling across the world through the like storage area of the toy shops. And I'm just like, what's going on in this world?
I don't know. It's half magic, half science. Who knows?
Literally.
It's magic you just don't understand.
And how do you feel about the cast?
I thought it was a pretty good cast. I'm not sure. Have Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Chris Evans ever worked in another movie together?
I don't think so, no.
It's nice to see that he's growing out of just Captain America.
I mean, yeah, he was Captain America for a while, but I still remember all his old movies and all this.
I remember him from being the Fantastic Four, the original one. The one that I actually thought is where they should have maybe stopped and not make so many remakes.
Oh, he was in a lot of good stuff. He was in a non-Teen movie. That was pretty funny. The Losers. That's a pretty cool movie.
So what did you think? So what did you think of Krampus in the whole portion of the movie? So the lore felt right because they went to Germany, and obviously it makes sense. This Krampus is a German folklore.
I don't know. Krampus was alright. It was a weird scene.
Yeah.
It looked very. That CGI was something else.
Krampus did look pretty good.
That took me out of the movie.
That CGI, I was like, man. I mean, as cool as it looks, there was portion of his horns that I'm just like, no, that's fucked.
Yeah.
It's completely fucked.
I like that whole scene though.
What were they doing? The slap competition.
Yeah.
Crample something. Crample slap.
And he was fucking them up.
Yeah, no, they just scrolled some random guy, it hits Krampus, it does nothing, then he just smacks this guy clean across the room.
Wouldn't you love to just have a huge ass red mark on your face?
Dude, the way he was holding their head before, and he was like caressing their head.
Yeah.
It was
know, like-
weird.
Well, it's very weird because he also has a slap fight with The Rock. And like he just keeps like caressing his face. There's a lot of people caressing the
He's
Dwayne The Rock
pretty much
Johnson's
telling
face.
him, "Don't worry, my child."
Yeah.
Yeah, right before he slaps the shit out of you. And he knows how to kill you in first slap.
He did
too.
say, yes, he did mention, oh, it would be nothing to me if I were to do it in my first slap and kill you. What fun would that bring? What a menace.
How do you feel about the twist that Santa was there the entire time?
That honestly makes you wonder more about the technology they have. How does he not know where all of these underground tunnels that they don't use yet they don't monitor them?
Yeah, and they also have like super trackers, so they put one on
The wolf.
the wolf. Yeah, so they could track them anywhere in the world. But do they not? Does Santa not have one?
The thing that throws me off is, yes, they have the tracker, but there's a portion where he gets caught, and because he's caught, and in the
Snow.
snow globe, he can't be tracked.
Well, they can't track them in the North Pole, I don't think.
Oh yes, and that's the thing that throws me off. So you have a tracker, yet when you're in the North Pole, you can't track in the North Pole. Where'd you buy this tracker from?
I mean, the North Pole is protected.
Part of their weird glow
Apparently
thing.
not,
Yeah.
because
I don't know. It's inconsistent with what they're secured by.
As long as it keeps the plot moving, it's there.
Don't think about it too
the
much.
plot thickens.
Oh, I don't even think her whole plan, I feel like it would backfire anyway. Because they broke out. And just by
Only-
being nice.
But that's funny to me. So you just need one portion of niceness and you break free. They did say that he was a level 4 naughty lister.
Yeah.
So how is it that with one nice gesture you can eliminate everything?
They went from level 4 to level 2. They went down for you.
That's
Yeah, maybe.
No, you have to get out of the naughty.
See,
See, there's so much like balance that I just don't understand.
I don't think her plan will work anyway.
you know, like it also has so you have to touch the weird snow globe to get in like super.
What happened to the first guy that got hijacked? He wasn't in that little collection area. Did he just disappear?
He's still there.
Was he still there?
No, because he opened it and he was gone. So where'd he go? He disappeared.
Oh, you're
See, that's the first murder.
right. Like, where would she put all these snow globes?
In her collection.
She's doing all the naughty listers.
Yeah, it's a nice collection.
That would have been a lot. That could have been like 1 billion people.
She can shrink them that way.
That's a lot of work. I don't think she was thinking this through. It's like
She needed correction. She's Thanos.
her eyes are bigger than her stomach type shit. Yeah.
Pretty much
Yeah,
the
it's
world
just
needs
how
correction.
cool a Thanos right there.
Yeah, this is literally Thanos. The world needs correction.
All right. So, what did you guys like about the movie, or what did you dislike?
I did. I'm sorry. I did enjoy the story. You know, it didn't make sense as much, but as Ash mentioned, they kept the story going and it worked. The only thing I didn't like is CGI and folklore. I don't fully understand. I mean, I could have wanted maybe a different villain because never did I listen to who a gorilla was.
So it was random. What about you, Ash?
So I appreciated like the comedy in the movie. I expected this one to be a lot more child focused, but it's not, it's definitely more of a young adult, slightly older kid kind of movie. But I thought I could enjoy the humor more.
I thought it was pretty funny.
Can also enjoy Krampus is describing when he was, because Grilla and Krampus used to date apparently.
Yeah.
And I also could appreciate that the Krampus was like, she was 18 feet tall, skin as thick as an elephant's.
He was going too much into
He could appreciate that.
We saw that form later. It wasn't that
Oh
good.
man,
No.
freaks of nature, love.
He loved it though. He loved getting tossed around.
I love this part where he gets thrown into a lamp. Like old times. Say, man, that
I don't even hear about that.
that love life must have been something else.
Honestly. Yeah, I didn't like I wish the CGI was a little better in spots. I think they definitely saved most of it for the end and for the Krampus stuff. But overall, I still think it was a pretty fun movie. It was a fun time. I had a decent amount of time. It wasn't the least fun I had in a movie recently. I had some.
If you were to give it a rating out of 10,
Oh, no.
no, you're not.
I have my own rating system. God. I guess we can go to that now. So, all right. So, my new rating system, I have a few categories.
Okay.
I have either buy it or see it in theaters day one.
Well, I already.
Now, can you let me finish? God damn it. So, the 2 is stream it or rent it. The 3rd category is watch it for free. Or the 4th category is don't bother. So you were saying you would buy it.
I would buy it, yes. I already watched it, so I mean I wouldn't feel bad if I was.
It's for the people at home.
So anyone at home, yes, go and watch it. It's a good movie.
What about you, Ash?
I would say stream.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, but I don't know how much more it benefited from the theater experience or any of that.
Yeah, I would say stream it too. I forgot to talk about it. It was weird that they released this right now in November because it's a Christmas movie.
Didn't
Yeah.
they do something similar with that one movie? I forgot the actor's name. It was pretty much a Viking Santa. They did that.
Oh, what you're talking about the like the really violent one?
Yes.
Oh, violent.
Bloody Night.
Yeah,
They did something similar. Yes.
I think it's because December's starting to get packed with movies.
Yeah.
They can't compete. They're actually smart that they're releasing Christmas movies in November because they know they can't compete.
Comes earlier every year.
True. And then,
He actually only comes once a year.
yeah, they're just trying to get this box office full, and then it's still gonna be out around Christmas, so people can still see it for Christmas. But I would say streaming. I feel like if it just went straight to Netflix around Christmas,
You know, I
would've
kind
been
of
a
miss. I kind of miss
yeah.
those days where you can just watch stuff from home and pay for it at home. But nowadays, theaters, big
we
companies.
gotta be careful with that.
I'm just saying, I miss those days. I don't want to leave my home, but
Yeah, I mean that's why I'm saying like some movies like this one, definitely a good streaming movie.
Yeah.
if you want to go watch it in theaters, be my guest. I liked it, but don't take my opinion for yourself. Do what you feel is best.
Well, thank you for watching. Bye.
Bye.